everybody, Scott here from the Jostens Service Station. A belated welcome to the new year, so let's fill her up for the month of January. Coming up in a moment, some great ideas from an award-winning advisor on good yearbook promotion. And that's not just book sales. After all, does everybody in your building even know what you're doing this year? Stay tuned for some great tips, but first let's start with some news. Have you been taking great photos? Hopefully so. Have you entered the Jostens photo contest yet? Now that we're into 2020, that deadline of March 1st is coming up fast. So if you've been taking some great photos, why not enter? Go to the website, jostensphotocontest.com. Check out all the details. Notice all the categories there. Read the rules. Be sure to download the release form. That's important. Who knows? Maybe you could be a big winner this year. And speaking of taking images, are you on the lookout for hand gestures? Unfortunately, every year we get reports from all over about students using inappropriate hand gestures in photos, and unfortunately that's a real no-no. Now, most hand gestures are innocent, but some aren't. We won't show you the ones that you know, the ones that are bad, but one that used to be called the circle game, unfortunately, is now a symbol for a hate group. So do a little web searching for hand gestures, but above all, maybe just tell your students, no gestures at all, please. And then if someone tries to sneak one in anyway, well, your administrators will know what to do from there. Well, the doldrums of winter are upon us, right smack in the middle of the school year when it's really tough sometimes to get things done. For a lot of high schools, those seniors have senioritis, which means they just don't have the drive they had back in the fall. Well, what to do about that? First, of course, always make yearbooking fun. Maybe every now and then throw in a staff party or take a day off. Make it more enjoyable. Of course, make sure that everyone knows their responsibilities and what needs to be done during these next weeks and months. When you can, always have people work in pairs or groups, not just solo when it's easy to blow off an assignment. And of course, don't forget about your yearbook sale. Run some great fun promotions in school over these next few weeks. Maybe toss in a few small prizes along the way for people who buy a copy of your book. These months of January and February are crucial to your success this year. Need some more ideas? Simple. Ask your Jostens representative. They have plenty of ideas and tips to help keep things rolling during the winter. Well, here at the midway point of the school year, are you doing those promotions we just mentioned? And not just for your yearbook sale, but also for your group's hard-working efforts. Do the folks in your building even know what you're doing? Shouldn't be a secret. Recently, we talked to a top advisor from Texas on ideas she uses with her outstanding yearbook.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Pollard. I am Yearbook Advisor for the Leopard Yearbook at Lovejoy High School in Lucas, Texas. It really is looked at as one more thing. We're so full. We have so much on our plates day in and day out that sometimes the promotion or the marketing piece is just like, oh, I don't have time for that too. And what I've learned over time is sometimes when you take that risk of putting in a little more time or take that risk of investing into some kind of business plan that your staff can contribute just a little bit, not a ton. But if everybody can all just invest a little bitty part, it can pay off big. If all we're gonna do is come to work and come to school every day and go into our media room and huddle around a computer or be the one behind the camera, that faceless person behind the camera, and we just go in and we kind of huddle around and everything magically appears, in my opinion, what I've learned is that the student body thinks that this just magically appears. And it's our job to make sure that they understand that what we do is a lot of work, and there's a lot of planning, and there's a lot of method that goes into it. There's so much to be learned with skill building for the kids, but at the same time, there's so much to be learned about self-promotion and for the kids to understand that they have to market their homework essentially. And with that comes some storytelling and some engagement, and it doesn't have to be another thing. It can be this super awesome connection that you make with your community. We would have kids come into our room in August, and they would, and they have nothing to do with our staff. They just know who we are, and they felt comfortable enough to come in and say, oh my gosh, what is the theme this year? Like, what have you guys decided that you're gonna put together for the school this year? Like, they're fired up about it. And to me, there's no better compliment than somebody who's not on our staff who wants to know about what we're doing. And I just don't believe in keeping it a secret. If you do, I think your sales will be have an outcome on that. There will be a cause and effect. To me, this is a culture thing. This isn't about marketing. This isn't about sales. This isn't about just to drive sales. Like, we need to take our zoom lens and zoom out and to really think about this from several standpoints. One, if you self-promote, then everybody's going to see the hard work. They're going to appreciate the hard work that goes into it if you are able to share your experience with your population. Not only that, but people start to understand, like, if there's a mistake that's made, they understand it from the standpoint of, oh, well, this wasn't really easy to put together. I mean, gosh, we're all human. There's that standpoint. But then also on top of that, it gets people excited about what you're doing, and they get to be a part of that process. And I think with any product on the market, anytime a consumer can be part of the process, it's like they have an in and they have that special VIP treatment. Ways that we try to really bring our community into our story is we ask them for their feedback. When we're in the theme building process and we're trying to figure out, like, what is our theme going to be, we don't just stop at the people around the table doing the decision making. We're also looking at several people on the outside looking in and explaining to them, like, here's what we're thinking about a theme. This is what we're thinking about, putting on the cover. This is what we think it might look like. What do you think about that? If they don't know that they're being covered, then why would they want your product? Research has shown that kids want to see themselves and see their friends in the book, and if they don't know that they're in there other than their portrait, for some kids that's just not enough to buy. So we've got to make it worth their time in order to buy it.
A big thank you to Rebecca for sharing lots of ideas on good yearbook promotion. Your group has been working so hard this year, your audience needs to know that. That means you need to tell them regularly. But you just saw a small portion there. For the entire 45-minute interview with Rebecca Pollard, filled with more ideas about good yearbook promotion, check out our podcast at the address shown on the screen. And be sure to follow our Yearbooking Report podcast so you never miss an episode. Finally, hopefully your staff is beginning their page work done on time so far this year. What happens if you don't make deadline? Well, there are two possibilities, neither of them good. First, your books arrive a week or weeks late for distribution, which of course would be a real problem. Or your school has to pay extra overtime money to get things back on schedule. Trust me, your administration will not like either of those possibilities. So if you find yourself behind schedule right now, what to do? Sit down with your group, make your plans on stories to cover, how you're going to get caught up on things, and then make sure you do that so that you have a great yearbook and distribution event. And of course, if you need help, contact your Jostens representative. They can assist you. Here in January and February, in many places that means snow, ice, or bad weather. Now, if that's your area, make your snow day plans now on how you'll handle your yearbook work. In many parts of the country, a snow day is now referred to as a cyber day. Students actually do computer work from home that day. So, why not something similar for your yearbook work? Plan ahead, and of course, always make it fun. Thanks again for watching.